Okay, I'm going to talk about why I believe my first wife left me. We all know the top three of reasons why people get divorced. Number one is financial. Number two is infidelity, and which could mean a lot besides adultery. And number three is communication, okay? So here's my rationale, my point of view after 40 years of being divorced from my first wife. Why I believe she divorced me. Number one, and she's used this against me, is I'm a narcissist. I did not know at 33 what a narcissist was. In fact, maybe my name's in front of it. Rock the narcissist. Now, that's what I believe she said, is that because she told a lot of her friends and our community, there was always an excuse about, why are you leaving Rock? He's the breadwinner. He's on his way. He's on a rocket ship. We'll talk about my career later on. But number one, narcissist is a great reason to say the guy's a prick and he's a piece of shit and he's controlling and all this other shit. Number two, I abandoned her. I abandoned her because I was a workaholic and still am, and constantly thinking about business and traveling a lot. But don't forget, I had 3 kids with her at the same time, all under 12. And the third reason why is if I look at it back 40 years ago, so you got narcissist, he's a prick. Number two, he's controlling. And I would say number three, let's think about this. I just don't like him. Okay. Is that a good reason to divorce your husband? All right, so let me respond to that. We're all on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, especially my divorce topics. It's actually kind of trending right now, especially now during tough times, economically, mentally, physically. And as you age, there's many reasons why to get a divorce. And it's always greener on the other side for whatever reason. So overall, here's what I'm going to agree with. Yeah, I was a workaholic and I was very disciplined and very black and white making decisions in business and in the family. To me, there wasn't a separation. Actually, the business came first. The employees, the 150 employees came first. Then my 3 kids, and then my soon-to-be ex-wife. So if you want to call it narcissistic and a prick and a controlling, let's roll that all in the 2 major reasons. And number 3, the communication aspect. We never really communicated because you know how people say you outgrow each other? Well, yeah, I could see that. I was still going to school. I was learning everything I can in business. 150 employees in a family business that I was basically the man to implement the strategies and execute these with top talent. Yeah, I could say that. Now, I remember seeing a priest and therapists and so on, and the first thing they always say is, well, what did you do that she would leave you? I mean, Rock, you're a rock star. Did you abuse her? Did you cheat? Are you an alcoholic? What did you do? And that was really hard for me to understand at 33 and being obsessed with work. So I thought that's the only reason why people go through divorce is some type of abuse or cheating or finance, infidelity, adultery, whatever you want to call it. So let's fast forward 40 years. I would say what I've learned over 40 years and marrying for the second time, not remarrying for 22 years, paying alimony almost 20 years, buying a business to keep my head above the water. I didn't change. I don't believe I was the prick. And that's the other thing I did. I did a lot of therapy. I even went to Hazelden for what they call family center, because I had the same addiction of the 12-step program, which is I was obsessed with business. I was obsessed with making a living and making a lot of money because I thought that might be the solution to everything. And what I really realized was, okay, I understand the definition of a narcissist now, and I was immature, no doubt, and could have been a prick many times. So I was not a good husband. But is that worthy of a request for divorce? At the time, I didn't think so. But today, I would say, if you're unhappy and you don't see a change or you don't see improvement, or at least give it a chance. That's at number 3, which is communication. We never communicated because I was always on the road. I was always traveling. I was doing something. And when I was home, I was raising 3 kids in sports, especially in coaching, and really dove into raising my 3 kids. So did it change my life? It took me almost a year to realize that we didn't have a financial problem, but there was infidelity and there was adultery that I discovered that was never said. I actually found out from not only my kids, her boyfriend, which was okay, because at least we talked about it. But by then, I learned something about something that was said recently that I heard on TikTok or whatever. It was, God forgives, we don't. Wow, that hit me hard, man. I never heard that because I always thought that I'm the one that would have to forgive my first wife. And it took me years because it was almost 20 years of alimony and 14 years of child support because I had kids under 5. So I was the breadwinner. And believe me, she made out financially, big time. Okay? Now, communication, we would have never made it. So when I look back and say, and hear all these people on TikTok and YouTube and social media about men are deadbeat dads, women are hoes, and all this other shit, every situation is different. Every situation is different. Every relationship is different. And I lived as a breadwinner, and I had to commit and change my life. So within 3 years, I really realized with a lot of therapy how I had to change. Because by then, not only did I go through a divorce, I went through a divorce with my employer, and then changed my attitude, changed my 12-step program because of the workaholism. And I really committed to changing my life as a person. And I took a beat down, man. But I had to admit it, and it was okay. And you know what's beautiful is good friends of mine from grade school and high school, that most of them went through divorce, told me I was a prick. Like, wow, I didn't realize I was such a prick. And that prick part was selfish. I was selfish, no doubt about it. So I admit it. So when people talk about character, what's a good character, what's a bad character, I had bad character when I was young. And now I have what I believe is accountability, which I'm doing now. I'm vulnerable. I've learned a lot. I'm responsible. And that's what I'm trying to teach my kids. Don't go through what I did. And I see it a lot because I deal with entrepreneurs, people that you consider narcissistic, that are pricks. And I learn a lot about their backgrounds because I consult these people. And when money's involved, it's a big deal. Money might be number one with everybody. And I think that's what happened with my ex-wife. She realized, her and her coaches during the time, that, hey, you got it made with this guy. You got it made. I mean, financially, you're not going to replace this guy. And you know what? After 40 years, she hasn't replaced me. And she's got the financial wherewithal basically to live the rest of her life. And once again, I'm like, okay, great. She never remarried. She's got the financial wherewithal to live the rest of her life. And to me, it's going to go to the 3 kids. I got two sons and a daughter. So I look at it like, hey, and thank God she's frugal. And it's going to go to the kids because she doesn't have anybody else to give it to. And I don't think she's got the mindset to, or the compassion or the empathy to give it to charity. which is my plan. So I just want to let everybody know that, yeah, here's the reason why wife number one, in my point of view, left me. At the time, in 1988, we were married for 12 years. And it was sinking, probably before my last one was born, because, little things like no ring, no wedding ring on her hand. Number two, the third child I wasn't invited into the Lama's room. Her mother was. That told me a lot. Third of all, the insults, disrespect, insulting me in front of the neighborhood people, because I was the go-go guy on the cul-de-sac, And, but you know what? I wasn't condescending to people. But as you know, behind closed doors, it means a lot. Everybody goes through something. And a lot of the ways that I learned my foundation was my mother and my father's upbringing that was passed on to us 11 kids. And then I see my ex-first wife, her foundation was built on her broken family, and let's call it their hatred towards each other for really bad things. And if they're listening to this, I just have to say it, because I think my audience is more important in my mind to help other people, that these are signs, man. These are signs. And another one was not picking me up at the airport after weeks of being on the road, or reviewing my 2,500 slides of taking pictures of my kids. Remember the carousels, the Kodak? I had them all digitized and put on the USBs, and movies. I had 8mm movies, and I would cry watching them. And I developed all these extra copies, and I gave them to my kids to remember when I was at home. Because when I'm gone, that's all they got, is because I never returned. Since September of 1988, I never returned to that home. And I was never really invited or welcomed, let's say. And when I would look at those USBs, those photos, the history of upbringing, a traditional family, and then watching the movies on the 8mm, which is also digitized, I could see she was really unhappy, man. I see it in her face. And I really feel bad for my kids, man, because bottom line is she made the right decision, everybody. She made the right decision by leaving me. Even though she's got to live with the aftermath, it made me grow. It made me grow up. It made me become more of a great father, not a good father, a great father. I achieved my passion, which is my career. I'm healthier. I'm mentally sound, because I'm 71 and my dad's 100. And he's a great role model of, Dad, how'd you do it? But God's got the calendar. So I just wanted to let everybody know, because, we could talk about everybody else and really what's going on out there. This is the true deal. This is the true deal. I ended up getting a Harvard business degree. I ended up buying and founding 7 different businesses and selling them effectively. And now I'm on YouTube. I look at it as a business to help other people, to serve. And I'm helping people. And I have the empathy now and the compassion of what men go through on a divorce, what men go through. Because I'm a male. I had a lot of men's groups together, and I saw everything. And I'm going to do a YouTube on other examples of people I ran into without names about the shit they went through. And as I mentioned more than once, I was so lucky to go through a divorce at the age of 33, because mentally now I'm a tough fucker. I can take shit. I could take a kick in the balls. And that's from, to be honest with you, from family. I could take it. I could take it. I know toxic people now. I know when to walk away. And I'm not a quitter. I'm a strategic dude, And so that's why it took me 22 years. Who can I really trust? Do I want to do this? And when you hear that story, it ends up with the 3 L's. And my first wife was my high school sweetheart, and I had the 3 L's. Oh, you're asking what the 3 L's are? Number 1, lust. I lusted her when I was 16, 17 years old. Got married at 22. Did I fall in love with her? The way I knew love was at that time, if it was an emotion or not. And then I thought I was going to build something, the empire of Rock LaManna and family, like my father did, with 11 kids, a business, and unity, and ethics, and faith, and trust. And then I said to myself, okay, I have to make my changes, and I have to invest in myself. And I invested in many different things, including education, a lot of knowledge, reading a lot of books, talking to a lot of people. And as I mentioned before, these men that I've gone through and having the experience that I had, I was like, Rock's a pro at this shit. Rock, what would you do? What should we look out for? You hear it on TikTok and social media and YouTube. This is what to look out for. Everyone's different, and it could be male or female. Do men walk away? Yeah, they do. But what are the real reasons? You really don't know immediately, because the first thing I was saying is, what did I do? I'm not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a deadbeat dad. How can this be? And then you find out the truth. And then you could make decisions. But the key is, as I mentioned earlier in this video, is listen to this quote. God forgives, we don't. We is like in me. But you know what? Once God forgives you, you have the gift to forgive others. Think about that. Took me a while, but once you get that load off you, it's a beautiful thing, and you can live your life. So that's what I wanted to share with you today is the reason why I believe my wife left me, wife number 1, and what I did about it later. Okay? You'll be hearing more, but I thought I'd drop in on you on this one. God bless. I'll talk to you soon. Very soon.